Okay, so this is now when shit started to get really serious with Sky. Basically what happened is I submitted those 4 complaints from the last video. I waited a while and I got a couple of letters saying we're dealing with your complaint reference number is X, Y and Z. Now, after that, as far as I'm concerned as a customer, I got nothing back from Sky at all. I got no calls really, I got no complaint escalations or resolutions. I got nothing in writing to say that they were dealing with anything. And I kept calling back, and a lot of it wasn't filmed because I wasn't, at this point, I wasn't really planning to build out this channel or do any of this. I was just really genuinely a pissed off customer that was seeing things that were significantly wrong with the business, and I felt trapped in a cycle of just being screwed over by this company. So this is when I was like, right, I'm gonna fucking do something about this. And I was like, I'm filming everything from now, I'm not gonna have a single interaction. But either way, between the first video and the video that's been released just prior to this one, I was on the phone with Sky, okay? We were having a conversation and I was getting really fucking annoyed because this was about the 3rd or 4th month I'd had charges put onto my account when I'd literally tried my hardest to make sure everything was paid and done. At this point, the patterns of what were going on weren't particularly clear. All that I knew was I was logging in, 3 to 5 times over a solid week every time to see what was getting generated when and when I could pay it. And then the next month I'd still have a £10 charge, and then you'd speak to the advisor again and they'd be like, oh, well, it's from last month because you missed this and that. And it's literally, the only way that you can avoid getting caught up with Sky is have everything set to automatic payments, and even then, let's assume you don't have the money in your account on that one time, they will just charge you for that. And then they will do even worse, they will just charge you for it, not notify you in writing as they're supposed to, and then they'll just take money from your account. This happened with me multiple times, and this is what literally the thing where I was like, right, fuck this, I'm recording everything and I'm gonna do something about this and try to get everything into the hands of the people so they can see if these patterns are occurring in a wider sense than just myself, and hopefully we can do something about it. Now, between all of these calls, there was one particular call that I really lost my rag, and I said something like, you're lucky you haven't ended up fucking killing someone with the way that you push people over the edge. And I was trying to represent a point, okay? And I even said to them on the phone, I've got so much other shit going on right now. I don't need this crap from Sky. What I need from Sky is a clear bill, me being able to pay my bill at the end of the month, not have loads of bullshit fucking charges, not have to be ringing you up all the time and all of it. Like, I genuinely did not want to go down this route, and I genuinely didn't want to deal with all of this crap. But they just kept pressing and pressing and pressing and pressing until the point that I thought, right, fuck this. I clearly cannot work with this company, so I'm gonna expose this company. And that's basically what started the next set of videos. On that call, when I said about how they push people over the edge, they threatened to call the police. And I explained to them, you don't need to call the police, I'm fine, I'm trying to make a point, which is you push people over the edge by doing this shit and it's fucking not okay. So, needless to say, I go back outside, start working on my cars. It was the end of the work day, whatever. So I was like wrenching away on the Subaru. And then the next thing, I turned around and there's 2 people banging on my back door. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, what's going on now? So I walk over and it was an ambulance crew. And I'm just like, oh, for fuck's sake. So I'm like, you alright, guys? And they're like, yeah, you alright? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And they went, what's going on? And I was like, I'm assuming this is to do with Sky, right? And they were like, yeah. And I just explained to them I was like, look, I said this because I was fucking angry with them because they were pushing me over the edge. And I was trying to make a point and represent what, you know, the feeling from the customers, or at least some customers. And the ambulance crew literally started laughing. They're like, yeah, Sky, they push everyone over the edge. And then they just said to me, are you actually alright? And I just pointed at my car. I'm like, look, I'm out here working on my car. If I wasn't alright, do you think I'd be trying to build a car? And then they just started laughing, and I was like, I explained to them, I even said to them, I'm really sorry. I told them on the phone there's no need to call the ambulance or a police or anything like that. And I told them I was fine, and I just reiterated to the ambulance driver, there's some really fucking stupid people in this world, I can only apologise. Anyway, I walked them round to the front of the house, and it turns out they'd wasted a full blue light ambulance time for this. Even though they were told I was fine, they were told not to do it. It's absolutely fucking jokes. Now, the only reason they did this, they were trying to threaten me, and they were trying to keep me quiet. And you'll see in the next couple of videos, this wasn't the end of the threats from Sky. This wasn't the end of the abusive behaviour from Sky. And I told them every step, I will record it, I will evidence it, and I will use it to serve more complaints.